to meet you. Thanks for seeing me. Excited to see your brain? I'm very excited, thank you. Well, let's go make it better. All right.
Thank you so much for doing this. It's just so important to get the word out about that it's really not mental health, it's brain health. Tell me your goal. What do you want?
Really, the end goal is just to be happier, just kind of relaxed and confident in the day-to-day life. You know, I'd love to get some of the drinking stuff under control and really just kind of improve what day-to-day life is for me.
So sounds like the goal is to be happier. I also read to be a better example for your son, to be a better dad, to get the drinking under control, and to also help with some of the anxiety and some of the sadness.
Yeah, definitely.
So you have a historic career. I mean, it was so much fun. One, for me to watch you, because I'm a baseball fan. And that must be satisfying at some level.
It is, and it was. It was what I have always dreamed of doing. Since the time I can remember, back 4 or 5 years old, all I've ever wanted to be was to be a major leaguer. And I was blessed enough and gifted enough to be given a chance to do that. You know, everybody wants to play as long and forever, or as long as they can forever, and clearly that's not reality.
Had you been thinking about what was going to happen after retirement while you were playing?
You know, you kind of always picture this white picket fence, everything's going to be great kind of scenario. And that's not reality. It wasn't reality for me. I missed the excitement and the adrenaline and the sense of purpose for one. You know, winning. I enjoy winning. You know, we all do. And that feeling of winning and I miss, you know, looking somebody in the eye and saying, you know, and I'm going to beat you today. That doesn't necessarily correlate into everyday life all that easily.
No, not in a marriage.
No.
Not with children.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
That's so interesting. I really hadn't thought about it. But, you know, when you're up at the plate and the pitcher's trying to get you out, and you're trying to...
I mean, baseball is a team game. But at its core, it's nothing but individual confrontations. A lot of the things that I've found, since the things that made me successful at being what I was, have not translated into regular life all that well.
I understand. I wrote a piece during the Olympics. I've been blessed to see some really interesting Olympians. Muhammad Ali was one of my favorite ones. And I wrote a piece about having to be the best is a prescription for unhappiness, because you have to beat other people. Having to be your best is a prescription for happiness.
Correct.
So if you can translate that to being, you know, having the best relationship for you, being the best dad for you, as opposed to competing against someone. Competition is this double-edged sword, right? Because once you win, if you don't win again, you get sad.
Yeah.
So tell me about drinking. When did it start for you?
You know, I drank once or twice in high school, a few times in college, nothing that major. It really started as I became a professional. It was a different lifestyle. It was a different lifestyle than I'd ever had before. The hours of operations were different. You know, our day was basically from about 10 o'clock in the morning to 2 o'clock in the morning. And at, you know, game's over at 10, you're super excited, everybody's wired. And to get to sleep that night, you have some drinks to help that out. And then, you know, 2 become 3, become 5, become 6, and all of a sudden it's 2 in the morning and, you know, you're pretty well wasted and you go back and pass out and wake up at 10 and do it all over again. Because there's always a game tomorrow. And a lot of it was dealing with pain as far as the alcohol goes. Was game's over, you've iced everything down, get back to the hotel, everything still hurts. And that's a 3 or 4 or 5 hour reprieve from some of the physical pain that we feel. And
Is that common among professional baseball
I
players?
think it's a little bit
pain?
different now. Oh, to have pain?
To have pain?
100%. Everybody hurts somewhere. There's no doubt about it. We used to joke that if you're not hurting, you're not playing hard enough.
So we do a study called SPECT, and SPECT looks at blood flow and activity. It looks at how your brain works, and it basically shows us 3 things: good activity, too little, or too much. And then my job is to balance it. And your scan is not healthy. And you see the bumpiness? That's the alcohol toxicity. We need to fix this, because if we don't, you're going to become more erratic, and you're not going to like that, and your wife's not going to like it, and your son's not going to like it. If you do what I ask you to do, it can look like this. So it can be so much better. Mm-hmm. But we have a choice, right? If you fall in love with your brain and you go, oh shit, I need to get serious about this, we can make it better. If you leave and you go, oh, it's really awful, I should drink. That happens sometimes. Like if you go, oh, I think Eamon's crazy, I don't believe any of this, and you just kept on the path you are, by the time you're 60, your brain's gonna be looking really bad. And when I first started doing imaging, I was the director of a substance abuse treatment program. And the scans were so helpful to just go, okay, which brain do you want? The one you have or the one we can get? So specifically, see these holes here in the front? Focus, forethought, judgment, impulse control. It's not as good as it could be. And these guys, memory, mood stability, temper control. And so we need to strengthen those. How many concussions have you had?
Documented? I don't know. I've been knocked unconscious like 4 times. But total concussions, I don't know. If you told me it was 10, it'd be like, that's probably a little low. If you told me it was 40, probably a little high. I don't know, 20, 25. You slide into second, you hit somebody in the knee and you wake up and you see stars. Is that a concussion? I don't know.
Tell me about the 4 times you were knocked unconscious.
So I was 8 years old. I was riding my bike to my buddy's house and jumped off the side of a tree, and there was a brick wall or a concrete wall, cinder block wall. It was on a sidewalk, so there was a cinder block wall down, and nobody had helmets back then because nobody wore helmets. And jumped off, landed on like a piece of glass or something, slipped out, boom, hit my head on the wall. And I still have a bump from that.
Side.
That was back here. I still have a bump from that one.
So here, watch.
Yeah, right about there.
Right about there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also saw you were hit by a 2x4.
Well, yeah, that was the extent of my carpentering career. I tried to cut a 2x4 in half to make 2 ramps. It only went halfway through, so I put it on a curb, jumped on it. The end came up and hit me in the eye. And I had 31 stitches right here and one on my nose.
Yeah, that's right here.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, no, we could actually
we can map them all out.
We could label there. These. Have you had surgeries?
10.
Oh, general anesthesia is toxic to the brain function.
Yeah, I've had 10.
Wow. Tell me about them.
All orthopedic. So I've had this shoulder rebuilt twice. This one rebuilt once I retired. I've had 2 on this knee, 1 on this knee. I've had 2 on my left foot and 1 on my right foot.
Well, my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody knows that. They don't tell people when you sign the consent form.
Stuff's wonderful.
That, and your cerebellum's sleepy. So, do you ever play racket sports?
No.
I'm a big fan. People who play racket sports live longer than everybody else because it activates their cerebellum. So if I can get you to stop drinking and do something, coordination exercise on a regular basis, will activate this. And that'll then help you make better decisions. Because these two parts of the brain are really connected.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you some supplements. I have a very specific regimen that I think will help you to increase blood flow. It's my NFL formula and the hyperbaric oxygen. I think you should do at least 40 sessions, and then you should come back and let me scan you.
Okay.
Because if somebody of your stature can say, this has been a problem for me, it'll help a lot of people be able to get help.
I hope so.
Questions?
No, I think I had everything I was thinking and wondering, and all got answered. It is a lot of information. It's like there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
It's a lot of stuff to do.
Right?
And you don't have to do everything. But the one thing I want you to do is when you come to any decision in your day, just go, good for my brain or bad for it. So here we are, 2 months later, and it's Troy Glaus, wife Ann, and I'm so excited because we did a follow-up scan, and this is the original scan, not good. And we talked about that. But 2 months later, his brain is fuller, fatter, healthier, especially in his prefrontal cortex, focus, forethought, judgment, impulse control. And I'm so proud of you because he did the things that I asked him to do. Stop drinking, took your supplements, eating better, lost weight, exercised like crazy, and you feel the difference.
I feel great, really. I feel clearer. I feel healthier. I have much more energy, and it's just nice to see results from the hard work. From what we're trying to, because it's not easy, and it's been almost 60 days. It's nice. Like I said, it's nice to see some results from the work you put in.
Right, and initially you thought no hope.
I thought there was going to be irreparable damage.
Right. And so many people do, and my whole life is about change your brain, change your life.
Yeah.
And his wife, what do you see that's different?
It's like a new person. He's wakes up every morning ready to think of what he's going to do that day. And he is loving life. He's more excited about things, has more passion for things, and we get a new person, which is great. So my son and I are, we see the changes, we love it. We have more family time together. We can all be together, and we're all on the same page looking for our next goal of what we're going to do.
Yeah, and it takes time because it's traumatic when you're with someone you love that's not happy and that's not acting in ways that make them proud, if you will.
The happiness is key. Yeah.
And it's work, right? So whenever you get a craving, it's like, which brain do I want?
Right.
And I think about that all the time with my brain, because when I first scanned myself, it wasn't good. Now it's better, and that's what I want, because with a better brain comes a better life, better relationship, better parenting, everything is better.
Everything's just